Hi, everybody. Mitch Tanenbaum here. Thanks for joining me today. Today, I'm going to talk about something that's a little bit different. I'm going to talk about forensics. Most people know forensics from the TV crime dramas that they watch, and they bring out the forensics experts, and they kind of create magic there. And in the period of less than an hour, minus whatever time they've allocated for the commercials, they solve the crime, put the bad person in jail, and everybody claps and is happy about it. Well, there's parts of that which are legitimate, parts of that which are not legitimate. The part which is not, obviously, is the time frame that they magically get things done in. That does not really happen like that. Um, but in terms of collecting the evidence and stuff, that's really important. Um, and specifically, I'm talking about what happens. What do you do when somebody leaves? When you have an employee leave, and especially if they're a key employee, but it doesn't really matter. The process is sufficiently inexpensive that you should probably do this anytime an employee leaves. So you want to preserve stuff. And so the first question is, what do you preserve? And then the second question is, how long do you preserve it for? And the third question is, where do you preserve it? So let's start with, what do you preserve? So you're going to preserve anything and everything that is related to that person. If you have the ability to go off and capture the person's email, capture that. If they had an online storage account, a OneDrive, Google Drive, Dropbox, whatever, preserve that. If you have SharePoint, preserve that. If you have log files from those systems, preserve that. If the user had a computer that they used, the company provided, make a bit image copy of that computer. Do not just copy this directory, that copy the whole computer. So that's what you are copying. Basically, anything and everything related to that user, what they're doing, what they had access to, what their storage was, anything like that you want to preserve. Network storage, local network storage, whatever. So that's what you want to preserve. The next question is, well, how long do we preserve it for? And there is no right answer there. The problem is that, let's say this person left, and 2 months later they went to work for a competitor, and magically this competitor, 2 months after that, came out with a product which was very similar to yours. Did this person take something with them? Did they upload it to a cloud storage server and retrieve it after they left? Well, first of all, if you don't preserve it, then you have no way of knowing. And if you preserve it for a really short period of time, it may take you longer to discover that there's a problem than how long you're preserving it for. So I would say, at a minimum, you want to preserve it for 3 months. If you can, I would say 6 months is good. And then realistically, a year is probably the best case scenario. So if you can afford the bits for that long, I would do that. You want to store these in a way that is safe and not easily alterable. So, an offline disk drive, something like that, would be a good thing. You want it to be secure, so you want it to be encrypted. You want to control access to it, and you want to make sure it's reliable. So all those things are relevant, and hopefully you never have to use it. That would be the best case scenario. But if you do have to use it, then you have it available. In terms of where it's stored, a safe is good. Offsite, if you have a bank safe deposit box, that's good. Just in a place where it's not going to get compromised. That's really the thing you want to do there. If you have questions about this, and I know this is probably more technical than most of our conversations, but if you want to have a conversation about that, please reach out to us. And again, as always, thanks for living and stay. Thanks for living. Thanks for listening, and stay cyber safe.
Turnkey Cybersecurity and Privacy Solutions offers the complete cybersecurity program for small to medium-sized